These aren't just backdrops, they're the silent witnesses of cinema history. Let's see how these movie locations from our favorite scenes have transformed over time. Please go and check out the original website in the description. Top Gun. Charlie's oceanside home, where Maverick courted her, became an iconic landmark. Once a beachfront cottage, it was later moved and restored to preserve its movie legacy. Friday Night Lights. Ray's BBQ in Austin was actually filmed at a local tire shop during visits. While the shop has since changed, fans still recognize the spot from the series' story. Halloween, 1978. The spot where Loomis discovers the stolen Phelps garage truck was once rural Walnut. Today, the area has grown dense with development, erasing its eerie emptiness. Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers. Filmed at a former YMCA camp in Waco, Georgia, many cabins and structures have collapsed, but remnants like chimneys and the old pool still remain hidden in the woods. Halloween Sackett, 2009. Rob Zombie filmed scenes in Covington, Georgia, where historic streets and eerie backdrops gave Michael Myers Returns a chilling atmosphere that fans still recognize. Dr. Sleep. In Covington, Georgia, Danny and Abra step off the bus on Floyd Street. The small-town backdrop remains recognizable, though the film's tension made it feel eerie. Star Wars: A New Hope. The Mesquite Flat sand dunes in Death Valley stood in for Tatooine. Fans still trek halfway into the dunes to stand where iconic desert scenes were filmed in 1976. Back to the Future Part 2. The McFly house, shown in 2015 scenes, still stands in El Monte. Built in 1988 inside the Arbor Oaks community, the home looks much like it did on screen. Problem Child. Ben's Discount Tires in Mesquite, Texas was demolished in 2010. A new building was erected in 2011, but fans still remember it as Junior's chaotic playground on screen. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The Cabazon dinosaurs in California, Dinny and Mr. Rex, became a quirky backdrop for Pee-wee's journey. Built in the 1970s-80s, they're still a roadside attraction. Sundown: The Vampire in Retreat. Filmed in Thompson Springs, Utah, its desolate bar cafe also appeared in Thelma and Louise. The ghost town setting heightens the eerie mood of the vampire story. It, Chapter 2, 2019. Port Hope, Ontario stood in for Derry, Maine. Its quaint streets and storefronts gave life to King's Horror and still look much the same as when Pennywise returned. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Vasquez Rocks in California served as a backdrop for Dr. Evil's lair. Its jagged formations have starred in countless films and still look just as otherworldly today. Home Alone 2, 1992. Radio City Music Hall appears as Kevin's holiday backdrop in Manhattan. The 1932 landmark still dazzles with its Art Deco glow, unchanged since the film's release. Too Fast, Too Furious. Shot in Miami, Florida, the sequel leaned into the city's flashy cars and nightlife. Its tropical streets and neon backdrops gave the franchise its signature look. Pet Cemetery 2. Arabia Mountain in Georgia stood in for the Micmac burial ground. A granite peak and former quarry, it's now part of a national heritage area and open to hikers. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The Wheel Inn restaurant in Cabazon, California stood beside Denny and Mr. Rex, giant dinosaurs built to attract visitors. The eatery closed in 2013 and was demolished in 2016. Escape from Alcatraz. Filmed on the infamous Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay, the prison's real cells and yards gave the Clint Eastwood classic its raw, authentic edge. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990. The abandoned Ideal cement plant in Castle Hayne, North Carolina became the Foot Clan's hideout. Built in 1963, its decaying halls remain a popular urban explorer site. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. The Sun Valley overpass crash was filmed on Nettleton Street. A fake column was built for the T-1000's truck crash, since the real bridge had no support structure at all. Breakdown. Bell's Diner in Lancaster, California stood isolated in the desert, perfect for the thriller's tense atmosphere. Though long gone, its barren surroundings remain unchanged. The Hitcher. Jim and Grace drove past the University of Texas Stadium, first opened in 1924. Still a major landmark, it connects the film's chase with Austin's football legacy. Sometimes they come back. Rocheport Tunnel in Missouri, built in 1892, was used in the film. Now part of the Katy Trail, visitors bike and walk through the same tunnel once haunted on screen. Malignant. The Sir Francis Drake Apartments in Los Angeles, built in 1890, provided the eerie backdrop for the horror film. Its Victorian design gave the movie a menacing atmosphere. Death Proof: The Circle. A gas station in Austin, Texas, was a key stop in Tarantino's grindhouse thriller. Once a roadside staple, it has since faded into movie history. The Curse of La Llorona. The Los Angeles River beneath the First Street Bridge set the scene for chilling moments. The 4th and 6th Street bridges can be spotted further south in the background. The Wraith. Carrie Johnson's Tucson home, built in 1927, appeared throughout the cult classic. The house still stands today, though its large front yard tree was removed in 2019. Halloween H20, 20 years later. The Malibu Creek State Park rest stop served as a tense roadside scene. Located in Calabasas, the area has changed little, retaining its eerie, quiet, and remote feel. Boys in the Hood, 1991. Filmed at Occidental College in Los Angeles, this location captured tense exchanges in John Singleton's classic. The campus remains nearly unchanged since filming. Date Night, 2010. The Arts District in Los Angeles provided the gritty setting for this scene. Once an industrial area, it's now transformed into a hub of trendy restaurants and art. The Ringer. Austin's Riverside restaurant was a Joe's Crab Shack during filming. Later converted into Bishop's Cidercade, the patio still overlooks a skyline that's grown dramatically. Training Day. Rogers House in Los Angeles, built in 1908, became central to the film's climax. The same home later appeared in Drag Me to Hell as Christine Brown's residence. White Men Can't Jump. The Ocean Breeze Motel in Los Angeles was the backdrop for key scenes. Once a classic roadside inn, it later operated as the Cinema Motel before being remodeled again. Witchboard. Wanda's warehouse in Big Bear Lake, California, used for the horror film, dates back to the 1930s. At the time of later visits, it had been converted into a finance office. Problem Child. The scene where Martin stuffs Flo in a trunk was filmed in Dallas near St. Pete's Dancing Marlin. The intersection looks far more modern today, but remains recognizable. Thelma and Louise. The Silver Bullet Bar, filmed in Long Beach, still remains, but under a new name. Opened in 1964, the honky-tonk became cowboy country in 1999 and continues today. The Conjuring, The Devil, Made Me Do It, 2021. Noonan, Georgia served as the backdrop for one of Ed and Lorraine Warren's darkest cases. Its small-town streets were transformed into a setting of supernatural terror. In the Mouth of Madness, 1994. Unionville, Ontario doubled as the eerie fictional town of Hobbs End. Its quiet streets gave John Carpenter's horror classic a timeless, unsettling atmosphere. Valley Girl. Filmed in the heart of Los Angeles, Valley Girl showcased the vibrant mall and suburban life of the 1980s. Many of those film locations still echo the era's vibe. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The mall scenes were filmed at Sherman Oaks Galleria, once a cultural hub of 1980s teen life. Though remodeled, the site still holds its legacy in pop culture. Carrie, 2002. This remake used various Canadian locations to recreate Stephen King's small-town horror. The suburban settings remain familiar, though the film itself is less remembered. American Ultra, 2015. Filmed in Destrehan, Louisiana, the cash and carry store served as a gritty backdrop for the action. Today, the location still echoes the film's small-town aesthetic. Good Burger. The West Covina filming site doubled as Mondo Burger in the comedy classic. Though now a family dentistry office, fans still remember the showdown with Good Burger. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indy's journey brought him through the arches of Utah's Park Avenue in Arches National Park, a dramatic sandstone setting that remains unchanged decades later. Scream, 2022. Deputy Judy Hicks' home in Wilmington was built in 1903 and still holds its timeless charm. Though over a century old, it blends seamlessly into the modern sequel. Halloween, 1978. Annie Brackett's South Pasadena home, built in 1915, is still standing. Its cozy 987-square-foot frame remains a fan pilgrimage spot decades after its horror debut. No Country for Old Men. The Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas, New Mexico doubled as the Eagle Pass Hotel. Built in 1882, its historic charm gave the Coen brothers thriller a stark, authentic setting. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 2010. Toronto doubled as the film's comic book world. Fans still visit familiar storefronts and neighborhoods where Scott battled his rivals, nearly unchanged since filming. Singles, 1992. Seattle provided the real backdrop for Singles, reflecting the city's grunge era. Many filming spots remain recognizable, carrying the same early 90s atmosphere. Junior Bonner. The Palace Saloon in Prescott, Arizona, founded in 1877, is the state's oldest bar. Featured in Junior Bonner, it still captures the Old West with swinging doors.